first stage of the 2010 PBA Fiesta Conference continues with a Sunday showdown like no other. Talk and Text, Shop on Texters going up against Barangay Ginebra right here at the Big Dome. And the competition promises to be tougher with reinforcements who are set to show their wares to PBA fans all around. And this is going to be one great battle between a tried and tested import and a new one who's trying to get his story known. My name is Patricia Bermudez. He's on right here at courtside to give you guys insight for Solar TV. Excited to be back on air with all of you. I immediately asked both coaches earlier if this schedule that we have right here is interesting to them. And it was Coach Chot who actually told me that it is by no accident that the PBA has pitted these two teams together against each other right away, because fans just want to see an early grudge match. If you remember, in this grudge match that they had in the last conference, they split their elimination round matchups, but the bloody battle really waged in the best of fives was the one to remember. Now, Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings became the third team in the PBA to recover from an 0-2 deficit and went on to win a non-title best of five series. This, of course, was marred by Talk and Texas walkout in Game 4, which gave Ginebra that win in that particular game. So now, these two squads are at it again, and everyone's just so excited, judging by the audience that we have here at the Big Dome and all of you guys locked in here on Solar TV. Let's talk about this conference format, which is basically a mirror image of the all-Filipino conference format. Double round elimination, so each team will be playing 18 games. Then the 10th team will be eliminated. The 6th to 9th ranked teams will vie for a spot in the quarterfinals via the wild card knockout round, and the quarters are the best of 5, while the semis and finals are both best of 7. So with that in mind, all of you watching, I urge you guys to sit back, relax, keep it locked, and let the games begin.
They managed to claw back in game number 2, and look at this.
Hard foul.
Oh, yes.
And Tubi taking a tumble. I mean, they're so pumped up. Oh, wait a minute.
To get out of the
It looks
play
like
court.
Talk and Text is walking out. This is unbelievable.
Well, the boys of summer are back, and so we are back to bring you all the games of the PBA here on Solar TV. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Miko Halili kasama the good Dr. J. Andy Howe, and unang araw pa lang, magkikita muli Ginebra and Talk and Text.
We already had a very good game. Of course, if you follow the first game with Barako Coffee coming up with a big victory over the Santa Lucia Realtors, and we have a touch of rain today. Maybe it's a good sign for the PBA.
Something we all need.
Yes, besides the fact that I've been praying for that, and for all our countrymen, we certainly hope that it's a good sign for the PBA that we will have a very good Fiesta Conference this summer months. And obviously, to top it off, we have, like Patricia mentioned, the grudge match between the Talk and Texters and the Ginebra Kings.
There are new characters in this story, and one of the new characters, siyempre may mga bagong imports tayo. And for Ginebra, they tap Obi's story, and he has a story to tell. Hopefully Ginebra hopes it's going to be a fairy tale, and this is the credentials of Obi's story.
Well, let's first give you the height. It's 6'5", 316 by the measurement, 225 pounds, already 32 years old, born in Chicago, Illinois. College is Arizona State, and played for a couple of NBA teams, so certainly he's been around and has done a lot of overseas work. And from reports that we've heard, of course, you'll probably get some more reports later on. He's a guy who works very hard. Of course, talent-wise, maybe there are some things that we have to see only when he plays in a game. And I think the reason why we have a lot of fans also here is because whenever we have a new import, especially to a popular team like Ginebra, there is a tendency for people to come out and see what they got. Of course, you like to be able to hope that you can never be, you can see again a guy like Billy Ray Bates, something like that. Or guys that played for these teams in the past, like a Lou Magic, big guy, 6'6", who can score 60, 70, 80 points, give you rebounds, and be a big player. So Ginebra fans are hoping that Obi Story can give them this for this conference.
I know what you guys are saying. Nakita nyo may parang toothpick itong si Obi Story. I know you guys saying, parang Chris Alexander, who of course led Ginebra all the way to the promised land, and Story hoping to do the same starting today. new players here for Ginebra. Again, new characters in the story for the Gin Kings. Yancy De Ocampo, he'll be playing against his former team today, and Jean Freol's wearing a new uniform in his PBA career.
Well, obviously, never knew the fact that the last conference in the All-Filipino, they lacked some big men. And they're hoping to be able to fill that up with Yancy De Ocampo, John Freol, helping out Rico Villanueva, Eric Menk, and Billy Mamaril. Now, of course, we know Yancy plays on the outside, but he's still 6'9". So in defense, he can certainly play inside. And John Freol, he may just a little under 6'4", but he certainly is a post player, and that's something that he never does need. So filling up the needs is what the team has done. As you can see, their numbers with their previous teams.
Kung maninibago kayo na tignan si Yancy in a new uniform or John Freos in a new uniform, mas maninibago pa kayo because the incredible Bulk Sean Daniels will be wearing a new uniform as he returns to the PBA. Alam nyo lahat, Sean is identified with Air 21 and Burger King, but now he'll be parading his repertoire for the Talk and Text Trop and Texters.
What obviously happened with the Talk and Text Trop and Texters is they were not happy in the practice sessions, plus exhibition games in Cebu that their original choice, Ernie Hicks, did for them. So they decided that they needed a big man to help out Ali Pick. This is the spot that Talk and Text does not have. A post player, a guy who can defend the post, a guy who can rebound, pretty good passer, not a big scorer, but can score underneath the basket. So it certainly helps their team because they have a lot of scoring in this squad on the local side anyway. What they need is a role player that can fill in, that can do the things that the team needs, and I think they have made the right choice in this person.
When teams make changes, they don't make changes just for the sake of changing things. And for Talk and Text, when they brought in new players here, players like Aaron Aban, Jer Kinyan, and Marquis, Dr. J, why would Talk and Text want to have these kinds of players in their lineup right now?
Because you want to improve your defense. First of all, Aban, you're also talking of Marquis and Kinyan. All of them know how to score. They can give you some scoring. Not tremendous, although Marquis shows that he is capable of doing that. But the mere fact that they are role players, that they can defend, that they can defend the perimeter as well as the post in the person of Kinyan. I think this team really needs some more improvements in their big man situation. But the reason why they brought in these guys, they want some new guys that are tough and rugged on defense. You know, the last conference showed them they could not defend their championship because they could score, but they couldn't defend.
And for more on the improvements and for more on the changes for both teams, let's go back to Patricia.
Well, you guys were talking about the additions on each of these squads. So the early theme for both of them is obviously adjustments for Ginebra. Apart from their acquisitions, they're going to be having a healthy J.J. Helterbrand and Mark Kagiwa, which obviously is something that they haven't enjoyed in the past few conferences to start with. So this could mean players like JC and Tal, of course, Cyrus Baguio and even Ronald Tubit might not enjoy the same kind of freedom as they did in the past. Of course, this is still a run-and-gun team, and maybe more so now with the addition of the Fast and the Furious healthy. But of course, one of the things that they did address is the size. You know, Coach John was telling me they've always had a hard time matching up against Talk and Text, but now they have the size plus the quickness. For Coach Chad Reyes, they've made big moves to make them a more reliable defensive team, as of course Dr. J has mentioned. But apart from the additions of role players, they also acquired Coach Norman Black as their big man skills coach and consultant, especially on defense. Now, Coach Chad Reyes was telling me Coach Norman Black has been known all throughout his career for defense, so having him on their side of the fence obviously will help them achieve their role or their goal of becoming a more defensive squad. Now, in the last two games they lost to Ginebra in the quarterfinals, the Gin Kings scored more than 100 points, so theme for them is to control their scoring. They also want to get the new guys in the swim of things, and at the same time put a great importance on how they execute this ball game. Nico, Dr. J.
So a lot of changes, a lot of improvements, a lot of new characters in this storyline, but the bottom line is Talk and Text has a score to settle with Ginebra.
Definitely. They certainly would like to come back because they missed the chance to play the Alaska Aces in the semifinals. By the way, Junti Valenzuela is also back in the lineup. And whether he'll play or not is a different story because it takes time for a person to get back in. But he is back in the lineup. That gives them additional toughness in the 2 and 3 position.
And when we return, we'll bring you Ginebra versus Talk and Text live here on Solar TV.